General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, March 13th reveal that Lucas is on the verge of experiencing something he never expected, a new love that could change the course of his life. After everything he has been through, love was the last thing on his mind, but fate has other plans. A new doctor has arrived in Port Charles, transferring in from Miami, and his presence is about to shake things up in ways no one saw coming. This newcomer is charismatic, sharp, and carries an air of mystery that immediately draws Lucas in. Their first encounter is electric, filled with an undeniable tension that neither of them can ignore. It starts with casual conversations, professional interactions that seem harmless enough, but soon, the lines between work and personal life begin to blur. Lucas, who has spent so much time focused on rebuilding himself after past heartbreaks, suddenly finds himself standing at the edge of something new, something unexpected, something dangerous in the best way possible. But while Lucas is navigating this unexpected spark, Brad is spiraling. The moment he realizes that Lucas may be moving on, something inside him shifts. He has always carried regrets, and seeing Lucas open his heart to someone else is almost too much to bear. It isn't just jealousy, it's something deeper, something more chaotic. The idea of losing Lucas for good sends Brad into a tailspin, and suddenly, every suppressed emotion he thought he had buried comes rushing to the surface. Brad's mind races with thoughts of what could have been, what should have been, and most importantly, what he might still be able to do to change things. But the harder he tries to hold on to the past, the more it slips through his fingers. Watching Lucas move on with someone new, someone who seems to fit into his world with effortless ease, makes Brad realize that he might not have another chance to fix things. And yet, the mystery surrounding this new doctor is far from over. There is something about him. Something just beneath the surface that doesn't quite add up. His arrival in Port Charles wasn't random. His presence in Lucas' life may not be a coincidence. The closer Lucas gets, the more he may find himself tangled in something far more complex than just a new romance. For now, love is in the air, but so is uncertainty. The chemistry between Lucas and this Miami newcomer is undeniable, but is this love story meant to thrive, or is it destined to explode before it even has a chance to begin? One thing is certain, Port Charles is about to witness yet another romantic storm, and when it hits, no one will be left untouched. Lucky and Liz are finding themselves drawn back to one another in ways they never expected. The years and the heartbreak that once kept them apart are slowly fading, replaced by an undeniable connection that has been reignited in the wake of Lucky's recovery. Time and distance have done little to erase the bond they have always shared, and now, as they navigate the complexities of their emotions, a new chapter is unfolding, one that neither of them saw coming. It starts with small moments, quiet conversations filled with unspoken words, lingering glances that last just a second too long. Liz, always cautious when it comes to love, tries to convince herself that this is just nostalgia, a familiar comfort in an unfamiliar storm. But the way Lucky looks at her, the way his presence makes her feel safe in a way she hasn't felt in years, tells her that this is more than just old emotions resurfacing. For Lucky, this is a second chance he never thought he would have. He has spent so much time trying to put the pieces of himself back together, trying to heal from everything life has thrown his way. But being around Liz again reminds him of the man he used to be, the man who once loved her with everything he had. And as they fall into old rhythms, laughing at shared memories and leaning on one another in moments of vulnerability, he realizes that maybe, just maybe, the love they once had isn't entirely in the past. Then, in a moment of weakness, or perhaps, in a moment of fate, everything changes. A night of raw emotion leads them to a place they thought they had left behind, their passion reigniting as they surrender to the feelings they can no longer deny. The connection between them, the fire that once burned so brightly, has never truly gone out. And now, as they find themselves in each other's arms once again, a new possibility emerges, a love reborn, a future that neither of them thought was possible. But as the morning light filters in, reality sets in. What does this mean for them? Is this just a moment of longing, or is it the beginning of something real? And if they choose to move forward, will they be able to navigate the challenges that once tore them apart? One thing is certain, Lucky and Liz have always been meant to be in each other's lives. But whether this is a reunion built to last or just another step in their never-ending journey remains to be seen. For now, all they know is that the past is no longer behind them. It is alive, burning bright, and ready to be rewritten. Carly is trapped in a storm of uncertainty, a feeling that is foreign and deeply unsettling for someone who has always prided herself on knowing exactly where she stands. She has built her life on instinct, on the ability to see through deception, to recognize threats before they become disasters. But now, something is different. A shift is happening around her, one that she can't quite put her finger on, and for the first time in a long time, she isn't sure what her next move should be. At the center of this unease is Brennan. He is a man who has seamlessly inserted himself into the most powerful circles in Port Charles, a man whose presence seems to loom larger with each passing day. Carly has never trusted him, never liked the way he operates, but now, her suspicions have turned into something more, a gnawing certainty that he is playing a long game, and the stakes are higher than anyone realizes. What troubles her the most, however, isn't just Brennan's increasing influence. It's the way he has found his way into Jocelyn's world. Jocelyn is smart, strong-willed, and independent. Carly has never doubted that. But she is also young, and Brennan is not the kind of man who moves without intention. If Jocelyn has caught his attention, there is a reason for it, and that reason terrifies Carly more than she wants to admit. She knows how dangerous men like him can be. She has spent her entire life dealing with people who thrive in manipulation, who take what they want without regard for anyone standing in their way. And if Brennan sees Jocelyn as a piece in whatever twisted game he's playing, then Carly knows she has to act fast. But what is his endgame? Why now? Why Jocelyn? Carly has spent weeks trying to untangle the web he's woven, but every answer she finds only leads to more questions. There are pieces of the puzzle missing, and she can feel the weight of something much bigger closing in around her. She has seen power struggles before, she has been part of them, but this is different. This feels personal. This feels like a move designed not just to shift control in Port Charles, but to dismantle everything and everyone in its way. She needs answers, and she needs them now. With that realization, Carly makes a decision. She won't wait for someone else to tell her the truth. She will find it herself. The moment she sets her mind to something, there is no stopping her, and this will be no different. She starts making calls, digging through records, talking to the few people she still trusts. She searches for any connection, any slip-up, anything that might give her an edge. But as she pulls at the threads of Brennan's past, she begins to realize just how deep this goes. The people she reaches out to hesitate before answering her questions. Some outright refuse. Others give her half-truths, their voices laced with something she doesn't hear often, fear. It isn't just that Brennan is powerful. It's that no one wants to be the one to cross him. And then, she finds something, a name, a date, a transaction that doesn't add up. It's small, but it's enough. Enough to tell her that whatever Brennan is doing, it isn't just about business. It's personal. It's targeted. And now, he knows that Carly is looking for him. She can feel the shift almost immediately. A phone call that disconnects as soon as she answers. A strange car parked outside her home that wasn't there before. A feeling in the air that tells her she is being watched. She isn't just investigating Brennan anymore. She is now in his crosshairs. Carly has been in dangerous situations before. She has survived betrayal, heartbreak, even war. But this feels different. Brennan isn't just another adversary, he is something else entirely. Someone who doesn't leave loose ends. Someone who doesn't tolerate interference. But if he thinks Carly is going to back down, he has underestimated her. Because if there is one thing Carly has learned, it's that when someone threatens her family, she doesn't just fight back, she destroys them. And now, it's only a matter of time before Brennan realizes that he just made the biggest mistake of his life. Portia is doing everything in her power to cover her tracks, to ensure that no one uncovers the truth about the altered test results that could expose her deepest secret. The weight of her deception is becoming unbearable, yet she knows that if the truth comes out, it will destroy not only her reputation but the fragile stability she has fought so hard to maintain. Heather's medical records were supposed to be untouchable, yet Portia crossed the line, manipulating the results for reasons she refuses to admit even to herself. But the walls are closing in, and the deeper she goes, the harder it is to keep the lies from unraveling. Just when she thinks she might be in the clear, Rick steps in with an offer of support that leaves her both relieved and terrified. Rick has always been a wild card, a man who plays the game with his own set of rules, and Portia knows that his help never comes without a price. She wants to believe that he is genuinely offering assistance, that he sees the risk and is willing to help her contain the damage. But there is a part of her that wonders, what does he stand to gain? And more importantly, does he know more than she realizes? The situation is spiraling out of control. What started as a carefully calculated move to protect herself is now turning into something far more dangerous. The more she tries to stay ahead, the more tangled the web becomes. The slightest misstep could send everything crashing down, and with Rick involved, she no longer knows who she can trust. Meanwhile, the pressure is mounting. Heather is becoming suspicious, sensing that something isn't right. If she starts asking questions, if she demands another test, then Portia's entire plan could collapse in an instant. And if Rick decides to turn on her, if he decides that whatever leverage he now holds is more valuable as a weapon than as a shield, then she could lose everything. Portia is trapped in a game she never intended to play, one where the stakes are higher than she ever anticipated. The lies are stacking up, the risks are multiplying, and the paranoia is starting to set in. She tells herself that she is doing this for the right reasons, that she is only trying to protect herself and those she loves. But deep down, she knows the truth. This isn't just about protecting her family anymore. This is about survival. And with every passing moment, the line between right and wrong is becoming blurrier. If she isn't careful, she won't just be covering up a mistake, she'll be the one who creates a scandal so explosive that it could take down more than just herself. Portia is in too deep. And now, it's only a matter of time before everything she has fought to protect comes crashing down. Brennan holds a distinct advantage over Anna, and the worst part is, he knows it. He thrives on control, manipulation, and the ability to shift power in his favor without ever revealing his true intentions. He has spent years mastering the art of deception, of positioning himself exactly where he needs to be, while making sure that those around him remain unaware of just how deep his influence runs. And now, he has turned his attention to Anna, offering her something she wasn't expecting, an opportunity, a deal, or perhaps something even more dangerous, a choice. Anna is no stranger to high-stakes games, to alliances forged in shadows, and to battles fought with information rather than weapons. But this feels different. There is something unsettling about Brennan's approach, something too calculated, too measured. He isn't just testing her, he is guiding her, leading her down a path that she isn't sure she should take. And that is what unsettles her the most. She doesn't like being maneuvered. She doesn't like being seen as someone who can be played. But Brennan is treating her like a piece on his chessboard, and whether she wants to admit it or not, he has already moved her into position. She listens carefully, analyzing his words, his tone, the way he watches her for a reaction. He is offering her something, but the question isn't whether it's valuable, it's what the cost will be. Because with Brennan, there is always a cost. Her instincts scream at her to walk away, to turn her back on whatever web he is spinning. But she can't. Not yet. There are too many unanswered questions, too many connections that don't quite make sense. Brennan is restructuring the power in Port Charles, shifting alliances and eliminating obstacles, and she knows that if she doesn't stay ahead of him, she could easily become one of those obstacles herself. But what is he really after? That's what keeps her up at night. He isn't just targeting the usual players. He isn't just maneuvering against Sunny or Jason or Carly. No, his reach extends beyond that. He is influencing lawmakers, business leaders, people who have nothing to do with the mob but everything to do with controlling the city. And now, he is offering her a piece of the puzzle, but why? Anna can feel the weight of her next move pressing down on her. If she accepts his offer, she risks being pulled into something she cannot control, something that could shatter everything she has worked for. If she refuses, she risks shutting herself out of vital information, out of an opportunity to get ahead of whatever game he is playing. And then, the most terrifying thought of all crosses her mind. What if Brennan isn't just using her? What if he is preparing to destroy her? The more she digs, the more she realizes just how deep Brennan's web runs. He has been operating in Port Charles for longer than she thought, making moves that were subtle at first but now are becoming impossible to ignore. He has positioned himself as a man of influence, a man who holds the keys to secrets that could ruin powerful people. And now, he is standing in front of her, watching her, waiting for her to make her choice. But Anna isn't just any player in this game. She has survived betrayals, assassins, and the dangerous world of espionage. She isn't the type to be outmaneuvered easily, and she certainly isn't the type to be controlled. Still, she knows that this is different. The stakes are higher than ever before, and Brennan isn't the kind of man who gives second chances. If she makes the wrong move, she could be walking into a disaster she will never recover from. The tension is unbearable. The walls are closing in. Anna knows that once she makes her decision, there will be no going back. Because this isn't just about survival anymore. This is about power. About control. About who will shape the future of Port Charles. And right now, Brennan is holding all the cards. Unless Anna can find a way to turn the game in her favor before it's too late.